So this is a video I've been wanting to do for a while now, and to give you guys a little bit of context, let me share with you a background. My background. So, in 2020, I was from the age of 13 or 14, I believe. And this was during the time I was really passionate with cars, and I myself kind of wanted to be a car enthusiast. That same year, what I was just scrolling through YouTube, and I found a bunch of recommendations from a channel called Formula One. Now, I haven't really, heard of Formula One in general. I generally didn't know it was a series. I didn't know it was a motorsport series. Actually, because I grew up relatively I wasn't really involved with cars, and never was passionate with it. Well, with them until around around 13 years old. So I joined the scene really late, which is fine. But why I bring that up? Actually, because I remember stumbling upon a video that F1 had posted on their official channel in December of 2020. Don't remember when. The day exactly, but it was in December. That basically gave a little bit of a montage of the 2020 season. Now, obviously, it wasn't a normal season. At least, it wasn't the season that they've had for many years, and for obvious reasons. So, they had to improvise. And I just remember looking through it, watching the video entirely, and just being absolutely captured by the amount of joy, passion, and overall beautiful sight that this sport has. So here we are on F1 21, and might I say, it feels absolutely refreshing to be back on this game after missing it for so long. Obviously, here we have home, career, solo, multiplayer, and a bunch of other stuff. However, you already know what we're here for. Let's go ahead and hit single player, and we can obviously choose between my team or driver career mode. You already know what we're here for, so let's go ahead and select driver. You either skip to F1 or start in F2. Go ahead and select F2. We can either do a full season, which obviously we're going to be doing. And as for my settings, I will go ahead and adjust that off camera, so I will see you in a bit. So we have everything selected, so let's go ahead and continue on.
First things first, let's create your driver.
So here we actually get to select our avatar, which if we click on that now, you'll find that we have a lot of different characters installed, as well as if we scroll back up top here, you have official F1 esports drivers like Jarno Opnier, David Tunisa, and Brendan Lay. But I think for this series, I've decided to go with this dude right here, as to me he looks like Tyler the Creator, which I think looks really funny. on to the country and nationality. We're obviously American, and as for the name, here's where things get a little bit interesting, because originally what I was gonna do is put in my real name, just for the authenticity. But I decided it would make more sense for the series if I put in a fictional character that I've been writing for a novel. So we're gonna go ahead and do that real quick. So on to the audio names now, and as you can see here, there are a lot of names to choose from, all in alphabetical order. But for the sake of this series, I decided to go with blue because to me it makes sense, because I obviously love the color blue, and they don't have Noah or Isaiah in there, which I think is pretty weird. So here we go then, on to driver number, and here is where I decided to go with 37, mainly because it's a number that I kind of associate my brand with, and it's actually embedded to where I practically use the number almost religiously. So we're going to go ahead and select that, and we have everything here. So there we go.
Now,
so let's go on
focus
events.
on your driver's look.
So here we get, here's a lot of helmets to choose from, and as for this series, I decided since we're starting in F2, we might as well go for something that's basic. And here, find it. This the one that stands out. So obviously, I'm gonna go ahead and give it my style. So black base with a nice dark blue, as well as added some white in there for a little bit of highlight. If we can get to it fast enough, there we go. And obviously give it that purple just as a bit of a secondary, because I do like it. I do like purple, even though it looks like a darker navy blue. As for the character poses, like the helmets, there's a lot to choose from, but I think it would make sense that we go the professional route. And here, there we go. Here is that's the one that seems to stand out. And as for the podium emotes, again, like with the poses, I decided to keep it basic and just went with what was already pre-selected. As for the teams, go ahead and click on that. You'll notice that we have all the official F2 teams: the Carlin, ART, Dams, Univirtuosi, MP, Campos, Ceruz, Prema, BWT, Trident, and High-Tech GP. Now, in the trailer that I posted on my Instagram a while back, by the way, if you haven't already, do follow me on Instagram. I will link that down in the description down below. I went with Ceruz, which, after thinking about it, doesn't really make sense to me. So I went with ART. And as for the driver academy, I decided to go with none because in our scenario, we technically don't belong to any driver academy until roughly the end of our F2 season.
Great. That's everything we need. You can go back and edit anything we've done so far, and we'll come back here at the start of each season. But if you're ready to go, hit advance to head to the team HQ. We can start our push to the top of Formula 1.
So there we go then, we have everything all set up and ready to go. So without any interruption, let's go ahead and start our qualifying in Bahrain. So here we are in the garage as we head out to start our flying lap in the session. See right there, headed out of turn 12 and now heading into what is turn 13, I believe. And I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking so that you can hear how lovely this F2 car sounds as we go ahead and start our first ever qualifying lap. So here we are back in the team garage, and I feel like that was a really good run. So I feel like I really don't need to do anything more as we go ahead and simulate to the end.
So qualifying is complete and we're all set for an exciting race tomorrow. Your top three are Blue, Schumacher and Yuki Tsunoda. It's time to leave for now, but we'll be back tomorrow when the feature race gets itself underway.
There you go then. That is the grid set up. Obviously we're on pole. Let's go ahead and head to the race.
Hello and welcome from the Bahrain International Circuit here in Sakhir. Down on the grid, the engineers are making their last checks and today's race will be underway shortly. Bahrain represents an exceptional 3.36 miles of racing. Lots of opportunities to overtake throughout its 15 corners. Now, this track has a reputation for being brutal on the rear tyres, so keep an eye on how these young drivers manage their rubber. Strategy here could ultimately determine the winner of this race. Davide, you're a three-time winner around here in 1 week, I believe, back in 2012. How on earth do you make the tyres last around this racetrack? They degrade so quickly.
To be honest, the key to the race is having a good start so you can get your car into a good position. Then save the tires as much as you can and push just at the end.
Here is the grid for today's race, which will be starting shortly. Blue lines up on pole position, and it's Mick Schumacher in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Tsunoda, Schwartzman, Daniel Ticktum, and Aitken, Armstrong, Joe, Piquet, Luca Giotto, Matsushita, Alesi, Artem Markelov, and Sato, Delatraz, Dragovic, Samaya, and Jayan Daruvala. Ilott, Galeo, Nissani, and Nikita Mazepin starts from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Great start to the season. Let's convert this pole into a win.
And winning is exactly what we're going to be doing today, Jeff. I have total faith in this car and the strategy. As you can see now, our strategy for today's race is going to be a one-stop from mediums to hards, and there's also an alternate from hards to mediums. But that's enough talking from me. Let's go ahead and start the formation lap. Here we go, then the 5 red lights are out for what looks to be a very promising race at the start of the Bahrain Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go. We get a good start off the line, but everyone else does as well. As now you can see Robert Schwartzman overtaking Yuki Tsunoda. Speaking of which, as we head down to turn 1, it's 3 wide between Marcus Armstrong and Guan Yu Zhou out of turn 2 now, but Yuki Tsunoda gets the better exit and actually looks to be trying to get an overtake on Robert Schwartzman. Meanwhile, back to our POV, we maintain the lead with Mick Schumacher behind, only 0.5 I believe that was, behind, and really lovely sight to see here. Everybody just duking it out for position, and that is just a lovely sight to see. We go down onto lap 2 in just a little bit here. You can see the rest of the pack is only looks to be a full second behind. Meanwhile, Mick is only 2/10 behind. As we now head into turn 1, go really deep into turn 1, out of turn 1, park it up in the middle. Mick is what looks to be 0.5 seconds, 5/10 behind. Heading into turn 4 now. See, Mick is really trying his best to really push that Prema into actually trying to get a move on us and potentially even taking the lead of the race. See, the gap is now 6/10, so we are gaining on him, but we go really deep down into turn 8. 8 that is. We now head into turn 9. You can see we completely overshoot it down into turn 10, and we go completely off the track. Luckily, we don't get hit with a penalty for that, but we do now have Mick trying to go down for an overtake. As we head down into turn 11, we give him the space, go a little bit wide, but we just maintain the lead. Fast forward here on to lap 5 now as we exit turn 14 and turn 15. As we go ahead and start the 6th lap. You actually hear Jeff as we cross the line start to say something.
We're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
And there you go then, that is Jeff actually calling us into the pits, which we do so by the end of lap 6 now. You can actually see us, if we'll cut to it, actually see us now dive into the pits, but we're not the only one, as we can see now that Mick Schumacher, and you can see Noda behind that, and that just leaves Dan Ticktum, Robert Schwartzman, and Marcus Armstrong just rounding out the top 3 now. Lap 7. Good. Really good start from us. We go exit out of the pit box and now down the pit lane.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
And there we go, really deep into turn 1, and for I think the remainder of this lap our only goal is to actually try and get some heat into those tires and actually warm them up again, get them back up to optimal temperature. Well, I can't even say temperature correctly. We fast forward now on to that turn 13 it was, go a little bit deep into the curbs and we just completely spin. Luckily, you can see on the minimap now, Mick Schumacher, surprised he didn't hit us, but now they're on to the end of lap 7, you can see now the other half of the grid now coming into the pits. See that Kylam Ilott and there looks to be John Deruvula called into the pits. Here we go, barreling past them, as well as Mick Schumacher. You see now there's a car starting to exit the pits, and that looks to be Dan Ticktum. Really good overcut for him as he locks up. And we go down into turn 1. Really deep into turn 2. We go really deep into out of turn 2 as we get contact. I think that was Mick Schumacher that hits us. And as you can see that, yes, it was, because we get a warning there for colliding with Schumacher. Let's go ahead and take a look at the onboard now. You can cut to it. There we go then, onto exit out of lap 1. See just in front, we go really deep as Mick just barely gives us room and just completely just mugs us off there. Really cheeky racing that is from Mick. Let's go into lap 9 out of this Grand Prix. You can see Dan Ticktum just closing in on Schumacher behind, in front. So, the gap is 2 seconds as he tried to go for an overtake down to turn 1. Is he going to make the move stick? And the answer is no. Mick Schumacher just holds on heading into turn 2 then. But Dan Ticktum is just going to have the DRS, which means he's going to try and best to make another overtake, and he does. So down to turn 4 we go. He's almost side by side heading into the exit of turn 4. Now into turn 5, now they're wheel to wheel. Heading into turn 6 and turn 7 now. Look like Dan Ticktum is going to get the move done, and the answer is yes. As you can see on the timing ladder now, he does get the overtake done, and that is really good gameplay. Racecraft from him. As we check on the onboard now, this is turn 6. See Mick and Dan are side by side heading into turn 7, but Dan has the advantage with the inside line and just completely overtake. Now in the lap 11, that was, you can see Moreno Sato out of the session. We're curious to see what happened with him as we head into turn 13. Now you can see smoke coming out of the back of his engine, and yeah, that's complete, and that's an obvious engine failure, and no wonder that led to extra time. Fast forwarding, and then here we go on to lap 14 of this Grand Prix. You can see now we're on board with John Deruvula in the Carlin, who seems to be getting an overtake on Roy Nassani there as we head down to turn 1. And there he's gonna get the inside line, and he does make the move stick out of turn 2. And really impressive driving from him as he goes on to claim, looks to be P18, I believe that is. Meanwhile, on to lap 15, we're on board with Nikita Mazepin, who seems to be trying to get an overtake on... Oh, actually, I'm mistaken. Be overtaken by, looks to be Noharu Matsushita. The side-by-side heading into turn... out of turn 2. And Matsushita has the DRS heading into turn 4. Almost side-by-side. But I think as they exit turn 5 now, Mazepin concedes and gives Matsushita P14, I believe that was. On board there went John Laruvula, who seems to be overtaking Louis Delatraz for P17, and it looks and there's a scrap behind. I think that's Louis Delatraz. Oh, actually, no, I was mistaken. Roy Nassani had to get an overtake on Louis Delatraz. Is he going to make the move stick? And the answer is no. Delatraz just gets his position back. You can see right behind is Sean Galeo trying to look for go for a move on Roy Nassani. Doesn't get the move doesn't get the move to stick down in the turn 4. But as we head down to turn 6 and 7, I believe that is. Now it is. You can see him side by side. Sean, but just gets the advantage. And as we head down to turn 8, you see he claims P19. So then, on the final main straight of this Grand Prix, on to lap number 16, we come around the final corner. See the checkered flag is in our sights. We've done all we needed to do, and we're gonna win the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Fantastic. You've won the Grand Prix.
A great win then for the ART team today. Davide, what do you think made the difference here?
The difference was in the strategy. Credit to the driver for sure, but races like this really drive home how much of a team sport this is. They did a lot of work on the pit wall to really tires, but that said, all of that would have been for nothing without a talented hand on the wheel.
An amazing race today, and a very well-deserved one too. The team worked very hard to get exactly the right setup out of the F2 car that works for them, and the results speak for themselves. ARTGP winners today. After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Blue increases their championship lead. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for? And here's how things are shaping up in the team's championship. ART moved to the top of the table. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Well, it definitely was a good day in the office for us today, but there's one more race to showcase here in this race weekend, so with that being said, let's head straight into the sprint.
We're back. For the second race, we've reversed the top 8 from yesterday, and everyone here is getting ready for what's shaping up to be a thrilling conclusion to the weekend. Alongside me today, I'm delighted to welcome back to the commentary box the 2012 GP2 champion, Davide Valsecchi. There looks to be a challenging race ahead of the drivers today, Davide. With that in mind, what are you looking out for today?
Well, Alex, I want to see how the drivers at the back of the grid are going to roll down. They'll need to make an impact in the early stages, and they're probably hoping for a bit of luck at the start. We may see some bold maneuvers out there today.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
So on to the formation lap now. See, a really good start.
Okay, our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. As Alex mentioned before, the top 8 were reversed now, so we obviously start in P8. Let's go ahead and start reforming the grid. Really good race for us. In the feature race, hopefully we can make a really good recovery and hopefully aim for another win here in the sprint race.
The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
We go then, the grid is set for what looks to be another promising race here in Bahrain. And the lights out, away we go here in the sprint race in Bahrain. We get a good start off the line compared to Dan Ticknam, as we now get P7. And you see there's a lot of position being gained in the back of us there as we go really deep into turn 1, and we actually get hit with a warning for exceeding track limits there. Really does start to sound like it's gonna be one of those days. Hopefully it's not, but I just get the feeling it is as we head down to turn 3. Whoa, what the fuck happened there? What the fuck? Oh, that was a really awesome fight. I don't know why we cut into that. That was a perfectly good 3 wide between us, Sonoda, and Mick Schumacher. So yeah, that's really weird. I don't know what happened there. Back to our onboard now. You can see down to turn 11 as we try and make a move on Dan Ticknam, but he just defends his position. And I mean, yeah, there was no way we're gonna make it because I think we were just way too far back. But I don't think we're gonna be this time as we head down to turn 13. We get the move done. A little bit of contact with Dan there. And if you actually check for damage.
Tyre condition is still looking good.
And there you go then. Jeff says we have no damage to the front wing, which I'm actually really surprised about. But nonetheless, we got, I think that was P5 now. So, which is something I'm really happy about. He's making really good progress. He's on to the 2. With this zooming past. Really nice, awesome camera work there. As we try and look for an overtake on our teammate Marcus Armstrong, heading into turn 4. We try to make a loose stick. The answer is no, is we're way too far back in order to make any sort of move without actually hitting Marcus and actually potentially taking ourselves out of the race. As we try and go for a little dummy fake left, go to the right. As we head down into turn 8, Marcus gives us the room and we do make the move, but it's going to be a short-lived gunfight as we head into turn 10, go really deep again, just like in the feature race. You can see that Marcus just overtakes us back and gets back to P4. We're not going to give up. It's actually, you can see now Dan Ticknam tries to get a move on us, but we defend our position. We give him the space, but it's not going to be enough for Dan to actually make the move stick, and we keep our P5, which is brilliant driving from us. We go then onto the back straight just before turns 14 and 15. Will we have enough time? And the answer is yes, we do, as we send one down the inside. I think there might have been a little bit of contact between us and Armstrong, but we just keep P4, and now we're aiming to get the podium position.
Schwartzman has just set the fastest lap of the race.
We seem to be making really good strides here in the sprint race. As 3 laps in, we're already making up, I believe our 12th position, as we get hit with a warning for exceeding track limits yet again. really starting to see a penalty being formed here, as this is now our second strike. One more strike and we actually get hit with a 3-second penalty. Really hoping that's not the case in this race, but as I mentioned before, I get the feeling we might get it. We go then on to, what was that, turn 13. Oh, what the fuck? Again with the cuts, I don't know what's going on there. We make a dive bomb into oh, that's really weird. I don't. Yo, what's with these? What's the camera works? If you head down turn 8, you actually see make a lot of contact with Felipe Drugovich. Really weird sight to see. I really thought he was gonna give us a space. See that?
No need to worry about tire condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Again, just like with the contact from Van we actually get no damage, as now we're running on board with Felipe Drugovich. You see, just come in the frame there, and I think it could be a racing incident. So then on to lap 4, we're on the back of Markov there. We head down to turn 14. That is also really awesome camera work there. I really love that. We now have DRS. Obviously, Markov doesn't. He has to leave the race, but you see there he fends the inside. We actually go a little bit on the grass. We head into turn 1 now. We give him the space and get the position done, even though we make a little bit of contact with Markov there. That's really weird sight to see. I don't really get it. Get why the AI just doesn't, like respect the space. That's really weird there. See, now we're on board with Mick Schumacher heading to turn 12, I think that is now. As you can see, into turn 13. Here's why I was on the onboard camera. You can see smoke coming out of the back of his engine. And yeah, that's Mick Schumacher out of this race. Really unfortunate race for him.
Okay, the incident has been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed.
See, now heading into turn 14. You can see there on the heads-up display, you can see that Mick Schumacher is now out of the race. Yeah, really unfortunate race for him today. He was doing really good in the feature race. Unfortunately, it's going to be a short-lived gunfight for him, as he's now DNF'd in the sprint. Running on board with Zhou Guanyu there. You see he looks to be looking for an overtake on Guilherme Samaya as we head down into turn 1. He gets the position, he has the speed, has the DRS, and he just gets the position heading into turn 1.
This is your final lap of the race.
Rather than fast forwarding into the final lap of the race, I'm not going to say anything for the remainder of this lap. All I want is just you guys to witness, to actually hear the sound of this F2 car as we come home to take another victory here in Bahrain.
Superb driving. That's the race win.
As you can see, even with the 2-second penalty, we come home to take another win here in the Bahrain sprint race. Artem Makulovs comes home to finish second with Felipe Drogovic in P3.
Brilliant stuff from ART today. What a superb victory. And Davide Valsecchi, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
This is why I love this sport. Their car dominates the track today. You could tell they went in full of confidence, with a clear strategy in place. They displays excellent knowledge of the track and made it count when it comes to some of those more tricky corners, allowing them to make huge gains on some of the less confident drivers. I guarantee the fans will certainly be talking about today for a long time to come.
And a very well-deserved one too. The team worked very hard to get exactly the right setup out of the F2 car that works for them, and the results speak for themselves. ARTGP winners today. After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Blue increases their championship lead. Now then, Davide Valsecchi, who would you say was your driver of the day?
For me, the RT driver was the best in the field today. They fought so hard and had incredible pace at times, so I don't think anyone did a better job today.
On to the teams then. ART moved to the top of the table. There will be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you'll join us at the next race when Formula 2 returns.
So here's how the standing looks so far for the championship. You can see ART, our team, take the lead of the championship, the Constructors Championship, as we go ahead to take first place in the Drivers Championship, and Armstrong actually takes 7th. There you go then, this has been episode 1 of our Driver Career Mode series here on the F1 Games. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. This truly was a blast to make. I really had fun playing F1 21 after being away from it for so long because of F1 25. And yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe if you are new, or if you're coming back on the regular and you haven't done so already. Speaking of which, be sure to hit that bell icon so that you yourself will be notified so every time I upload to this channel. And now given that this series is now up and running, I have the feeling it's going to be every day now. Follow me on Instagram. That's about as much as all I can say. And remember, God loves you, as do I. Take care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.